What's up, you guys? It's Zamara, and I am back already with a new video. It is summertime, and suddenly I had a bunch of flashbacks about what summers used to be for me before I got a job back in 2013. So, when I used to be in school, I was that one kid who, over the summers, I didn't have anything to look forward to because I didn't have that many friends. To tell you the truth, I never hung out with anybody outside of school except for one time at a school function in which I went to see some of my friends, and that's not really counted as school hours. But anyways, and suddenly I thought, why is it that it's the way it is for me? Like, why can't I have an adventurous summer like some people do? And then I remembered how, my mother was completely responsible for the household, and I only had her to rely on. Didn't really have any family and all that, so it stopped bothering me because I had stuff like the internet and video games, and that engaged my mind in such a way that I didn't have time to think about, wow, it sucks for me that I never have anything interesting happen to me over the summers. So I just sat down and meditated now that I am in my 20s. What is my ideal vacation like? So that's going to be this video's topic. First and foremost, I just need for the love of my life to be with me. Cause I have never embarked in a trip by myself, and I'm wondering how that would go. But at the same time, I really don't have the need to be going away on my own. It's just something weird like that. My mentality on it is, if I am going to do something, I like to make it count extra. And for me, I just enjoy myself better when I'm sharing my experience with someone. And at the same time, I was thinking, I want to do something that I am not used to doing. And taking a vacation with someone who's foreign to, like, my mother, or someone who's just foreign to who I was used to living with, then, it would be a completely new experience. I just want to live like an adult, if you will. So, all right, I have discussed this before, so now I am just going to put it on tape for the record. The first thing I would do would be rent a car. And I would request to be off for 2 weeks, because really 2 weeks is all it takes, and I have never taken that much time off. And ideally, I would have enough money to afford eating my favorite things throughout those days. And my favorite things consist of stuff like salmon and spinach, sweet potatoes, burgers, pizza, sandwiches, stuff like that, and smoothies. So if I can be guaranteed that I can have a budget for all that, and as dessert frozen yogurt, I would be such a happy person. And anyways, so with renting a car, my goal would be to revisit all of the places that I remember living at or frequenting. And I have done a rough calculation of what those drive-bys would be like and how long they would take. And I want to say I'm looking at some 14-ish hours cumulatively driving. And that is counting everything from traffic to red lights and all that. And the good thing is that in my mind, I have the route planned pretty much. So I know that I am making the most effective use of time. Um, and then I would also go out of state, particularly Tennessee, only because there is someone who I met out there whom I just need to see because they just exude such positive energy and it's a great environment to be in, and I am interested to know about the whereabouts of some other individuals. And some stuff just isn't transmitted as effectively via phone calls or texting or messaging on Facebook. So if I can afford going out there, and at the same time I love to drive, so I get to do a multi-state type of driving, because when I was out there I didn't have a driver's license, I only had a permit. So now it is legal for me to cross the state borders, and that excites me. I would also like to spend a day at the beach area, but of course with a partner. And it's because the beach environment makes my mind wander a lot, and it's just such a relaxing atmosphere. Sitting, on the sand, close to the shore, discussing stuff like the future, the state of the present, what are your goals, what's going to happen when you accomplish your goals, stuff like that. It's just the best conversations I've ever had with people have taken place by the sea, by the ocean. And I would like to relive that feeling, and just experience excitement in my life overall, because I feel like I am victim of routines now, and I just want to feel excited about where I'm at and who I'm with and all that, because it sucks to live in dissatisfaction and just boredom. So I feel like that would spice things up a lot for me. And the fact that we were able to plan something, for some reason, we just never planned stuff. And sometimes that hurts because I'm like, wow, I'm just not worthy of making times in advance with. So, it's minimal, but for me, it means so much. And while we're at it, randomly visiting people I know just for a few minutes. And that would fall on the category of school. I went to my old high school back in December, and it was good to see everybody, or who was left of some people. And if I could get in touch with some of the classmates that I was cool with back in the day, then yeah, I wouldn't mind spending like a couple of minutes with them just to, have a brief catch up and then be like, hey, I encourage you and myself to stay in touch, because it's strange how you used to talk to some people on a daily basis and now you don't hear from them. Like, it's been over 3 years since I've heard from one of the girls who I used to just be super with. It's like, what happened to you? And I also would listen to my music piece by piece, note by note, part by part. Because I feel like lately I have been getting rid of a lot of my music. And really, the reason is simple. It's because I find myself skipping them a lot. And I also just don't feel the same way about them anymore. And I also want to make room for filming and for new music, because I love to find new music. And yeah, also swimming in an indoor pool and practice diving for about an hour. I say indoor pool because I don't like the sun. Ever since I wear glasses and I have my skin conditions going on, I run away from the sun as much as I can. And I say practice diving because even though I have a pretty good lung capacity now, I have problems equalizing my ears. Like my right ear, whenever I fly, it always feels like it's going to burst and it's going to expose all of my organs and just bleed. and all of that, and it's just extremely painful. So when I went diving back in 2011, I was having the same issue. My brother and my father, one of the few times we're ever together, they were like, oh, what you gotta do is you gotta equalize your ears. And I'm like, I'm not succeeding at it. You know, it still hurts, they still pop and all that. So I guess I'm just one of those people who physically is incapable of equalizing her ears, and I just gotta figure out a technique to improve my chances of succeeding at this. Also going for a walk at dusk. Back in the summer of 2014, I used to do this a lot every night, and suddenly it just stopped happening. And it's amazing because just walking and being able to just walk with someone and just talk, it did wonders for me, because I'm like, I'm getting out of the house, I'm also getting a little bit of exercise, and you know, you get to hang out with someone and you're not so alone. Because for me, it just sucks to be alone because I just get lonely so easily. And those nights for me, they were just magical. Just spending time with someone who I normally wouldn't spend time with, and just, you know, talking. Also working art and just drawing good stuff. I used to be regular about that, but now it's like I still have like 5 pending drawings, and these all started like back in March or so. And this is always the season when I get eager to work on that, but for whatever reason, I'm just lazy. I'm not inspired. I don't have the energy. So sometimes I go online and I try to look for subjects that could be my next works of art. But unfortunately, I just don't, because when I start drawing and I see that it's not going the way it should, I just get frustrated very easily and give up until the next year. At any rate, also going to a gym and having a spotter or instructor for a day. I'm just one of those people who sucks at exercising by herself. Like the little routine I have now, it works, but my triceps particularly, some days it works, most days it doesn't. And I am just tired of doing everything that I can and just not being able to figure out what my form or what weight or what machine or what technique, whatever it is, I need to develop to effectively make these losers just pop. So I just wish I could have someone who had the knowledge and patience and willingness to help me with that. But at the same time, I don't make a big deal out of it, because I'm telling myself at least I'm getting some exercise and I feel well the way it's going. I'm not trying to have a supermodel body, so I'm not letting that get to me. But when I see that imbalances in my body and I physically am affected in progressing at other machines because I have a weakness going on, then, you know, I don't want to just stop at that level because I am struggling on another one. So if there is a volunteer out there who wouldn't mind helping a sister out, let me know. And let's see, getting a full body massage afterward, because of course lately I have just been begging for that. I used to mess with the massage chair, but I'm just not a fan of it because it's just, it has the same cycle even if you change the type of therapy that you want in it. I don't like machines. I like interacting with humans. And you know, the body is such a sacred temple that it needs to be taken care of, and machines do not do that. So ideally another human being would take care of those needs. So that is what I want. Also having all my bills paid prior to departure, so nothing snatches my peace, because trust me, nothing sucks more than you being out and coming back to a load of bills that you just gotta pay, and you just came back from having a blast. And you know, so I would schedule this event in the 2 weeks that most bills do not arrive, so that, you know, I can just come back and be like, all right, it's over. Let me get back to my regular life, and then the assault of bills will not bother me as much. And additionally, free roaming a city and maybe pranking my companion as we go along. And what this means is sometimes you're just walking like downtown and you see something and you just play pranks on someone. Like for me, I used to just pick flowers and just try to put them on people's clothes or on their hair and all that and make silly faces. You know, whatever thing I cite and I can make something silly out of, I will so be down for it. And on that note, I would also like to practice my music. I just wish, like the gym, that I had someone who knows what they're doing when it comes to music, because for me, there's only so much I can accomplish being self-taught. And I'm at a point where I don't seem to be progressing any further. So that's when I need the interference of another human being to just expose my better side. And oh my goodness, another thing is I would like to spend a day with a dog, preferably a Siberian Husky, because I just need to hang out with that energetic breed. I feel like we are compatible for each other because I have my own degree of hyperactivity, and what better than a canine to just bring the best out of me. In conclusion, like with every vacation, I just want to be fully relaxed. Last year, I took about a week and I think 2 days off from work. And I could not even fully enjoy it because I ended up losing something valuable to me, which was my iPod. My iPod has all of the music in the world that I care for and I dream of, and I just need to properly function as a human being. And it just got lost, but it got lost because it got mixed in with mom's stuff. And she found it about 2 months later, and I'm like, oh, now it appears. Now that the worst happened and I got myself involved in an iPhone. So at any rate, I felt like that needed to happen to give me the final push to get the phone that I have very much needed. And trust me, it is a need because my home doesn't have internet. Everything that I do through my phone. So I feel like it's a good investment. She has seen that it's been a good investment. We have traveled and just looked up stuff during urgent moments like we used to during our interstate moving back in 2013 when we used to need to stop and find Wi-Fi places to look up stuff. You know, she has seen the utility of it and she knows that I'm not crazy. I wouldn't make an investment that would not be ultimately useful. And I just want to also enjoy somebody else's company, you know, and just not having a time limit, being out and about, and just having that sense of freedom. Enjoying being off, which means just that, being off, and you can manifest yourself as the adult that you are. And all right, guys, that concludes my ideal vacation topic. And what do you guys think? What are your ideal vacations looking like? Leave me a comment or message me or just contact me in any way that you know. And I appreciate you watching and see you soon.